I'm up against a Protoss player, chat. So I'll go up against this Protoss with the #1 macro build. I'm ranking up this account. My opponents right now are like, I don't know, high diamond, low master. And while there isn't a ton of cheese at this MMR, there is certainly a significant amount of it still. So, we go for the best macro game that there is. The strongest macro game in the entire game. It's the 12 pool. The earliest possible spawning pool. It is the I don't want to die to anything stupid strat. I don't trust you, JJ. I'm sorry, Jay, it's not you, it's the others, okay? Maybe you're not a cheeser, you never know. But the odds of you going for a Forge first are not 0. Now, if he plays it well, he should be ahead after all of this. You want 10 games in a row cannon rushing? Right. I'm gonna cancel the queen, make a hedge instead. And we're gonna make up to 10 queens. Or, whoa, it's a little early for that, Loco. 10 Zerglings. I wouldn't mind having 10 queens at this point in the game, but 10 Zerglings. If he opens up normal, so if he opens up like Cybercore into Nexus, right? Like the whole normal way to normally play Protoss, he should actually be slightly ahead against this opener. Because I sacrifice a lot of early game economy to try and pull this thing off. But this really is the ultimate don't die to anything stupid strat. Now, if it's handled perfectly from Protoss, you are behind the Zerg. But you do automatically counter about... What did I tell you? I'm telling you guys, man. And you know what? There is one theme, right? He's going to be able to defend this. He's not going to do a lot of damage. But in all my years of playing StarCraft, I have learned very quickly that the guys that blind cheese every game are pretty garbage at playing the macro game. Maybe this guy isn't. Maybe this guy was opening up with, I don't know, something a little bit more reliable or something, but... I need to power out drones, though, because he's going to be ahead economically at this point for sure. Was that a second Zealot? Second Zealot is a garbage play, dude. Come here. Come here. Come. I actually don't think second Zealot is good here. I will go third hedge before... before gas. Now my gas is obviously going to be extremely late too. Now, in order to beat this, guys, we gotta pretend that we are inside of the skin of a cannon rusher right now. Imagine you are a cannon rusher. You open up with a blind Forge first. Your opponent didn't allow you to cannon rush you. What is your next move? In my mind, there's 2 options. Void Ray, Dark Templar. I think those are the only 2 reliable options, dude. Has to be. Has to be. In the current meta, I think Void Ray is much better. I mean, it's still not great, but I think it's much better than... Whoa, 2 sentries? I think bro freaked out and got both of his gases early. Now he has too much gas and he doesn't know what to use it on. I don't trust it, man. He's trying to... I'll make my blind spore crawlers. Okay, so only just now is when we get up to like a reasonable economy. He's taking the gases over there already too. That's crazy. I'll park some lings on the potential bases. It could be like an Immortal Sentry push. In that case, I would be surprised if he would have shown me the sentries, but could be. Very uncommon, but technically viable. Okay, I think we're done making drones for now. I'll go lair. And Even though link speed is still a long ways off, I'll make a, you know, okay, fine. Now we're done droning. I'll start making slow Zerglings. I still haven't seen anything from my opponent. So we'll keep up the queen production. Haven't seen a spore, or I haven't seen a prism or any unit fly by. He could be covering, you know, the absolute corners or the edges of the map with flying units. I don't know.
Good morning, Loco, whiskey and cereal.
No, whiskey and cereal is not a combo in the morning, dude. That's yes or no. I've heard people that mix orange juice in their cereal instead. Also a little weird, but... Okay, I went for a Hydralisk then. Because I really like to lose. No. I don't know what my opponent is doing. I can't really do anything here. So... I'll try and scout with an Overseer. Finally, I'll be able to figure out what's happening. He's got an Immortal. Bro just went Immortals. Okay. I'll go Hydras. He doesn't have Warp Gates? He doesn't have Warp Gates! I'm telling you guys, man. 4K MMR Cannon Rusher doesn't make Warp Gates. 12 pool is a macro build. I keep getting back to this every time. This is still going to be sketchy, though. He's going to have a large army. And I obviously don't have my upgrades yet, so... He does have charge. I am in no hurry here. He does have an observer in the mix too. Because I've seen it. He decides to recall. I think I'll just sec the links. Yep, seems good to me. Okay. So now he's in a bit of a... what the professionals would call a pickle. Nobody ever says that anymore. Nobody ever says that he's in a pickle. But he is. He does still have a scary amount of units, though. Oh my god. What a fight for me. I think this guy has about 12 APM. That fight could not have gone better. If I would have been able to set it up perfectly, I think that was about as good as it was ever going to be. Memes aside, if you struggle against Cannon Rush, or like early game cheeses from Protoss in particular, this build is an actual banger. Now, you do have to be able to follow it up reasonably well. And it's not super easy or whatever, right? Like, this is not... like, I actually think 12 pool is not an easy strat to play. But this does hard counter pretty much all the stuff that people like to go for on the ladder. And if you feel like you're a better late game player than you are an early game player as Zerg, this is a really good option. Now, it's a problem if your opponent plays macro. So, like, at the pro level, 12 pool into anything makes sense. He's salty? Alright, buddy. Yeah, so if my opponent would have gone for a normal start, so, like, a regular wall-off on the low ground, gateway, cybercore, nexus, 20 supply, you know, like the whole normal Protoss spiel, and then into, like, an adept or two and into, like, I don't know, for example, a void, or like Void Ray into Oracle or Mass Oracle into Blink Stalker. Like, in the standard cases, you are behind with a build like this. Like, you're actually in kind of a rough spot.
I'm in a pickle, it's 6:30 AM and I need more cereal.
No, you need less whiskey, yeah, sure. Thank you very much. So I genuinely think this is the way to open up. If you lose to a lot against cheeses, it's really nice. Wait, was this a gateway first? Oh, he actually opened gateway first. Oh, dude, this was a reactionary forge. Well, that's just straight up a misplay. Well, that also puts you ahead. Yeah, so the main thing, though, to look out for, right, is the income advantage here. So the worker count is very low when you open up with a 12 pool, for obvious reasons. So you have to make sure you catch up in that department ASAP. I actually thought I was going to be further behind there than I realized. With good execution, I think Protoss actually should be slightly ahead at this point as far as the worker count goes. One of the keys to, like, stopping 2-base all-ins. So usually if you stop somebody who goes for some of the early game shenanigans, right? If you can stop them cannon rushing you, proxy gating you, whatever, they will resort to some sort of 2-base all-in. And against a 2-base all-in from Protoss, you generally want to have slightly more than 2-base economy. So I know for a fact that on 2 bases, he can have a maximum of 44 workers. So he can have 16 on 2 mineral lines, right? That's 32. And then 4 gases with 3 workers in them each. So you end up with 44 workers that you can have on, like, the absolute maximum saturation on 2 bases. So if I set, if I sit on, like, I would say 45 to 50 workers, and then I start making non-stop army, regardless of what he goes for, I should be able to outproduce him. I think the big mistake that a lot of Zerg players make from here is that they drone up the 3rd base fully, or they, like, oversaturate. You don't really want to have too much. So I think this guy just misread me really hard. Like, he probably assumed I was committed to, like, a 12-pool all-in. But I really wasn't. This was weird, though. Like, his warp gate just finished. Yeah, I think he was basically playing on the fly here. So maybe that's another advantage then to playing 12 pool. I think in theory 12 pool is not great against a macro opener, but it does require the opponent to play perfectly against it. And because it is so uncommon at the pro level these days, you don't really see how the pro gamers deal with it anymore. So maybe... Yeah, this fight was glorious, man. That fight was so good. I was actually a little sketched out here because that army looked scary. I had 2 spine crawlers, and I wanted the spines to be part of the battle. So I tried to have my units in such a way that I could, like, bait him in that direction. So he charges with half of the zealots onto the spine, and we transfuse the spine. He force fields himself. This game was a bit of a bully. Yeah, this whole game was a... Oh well, a win is a win.